I want to go through an example of what happens when I have a Vivid sheet with some data here, and I want to use that as a data resource in VividCharts. What happens on that slide deck if I hit refresh? What happens to the data here and the data on the slide deck? So there's a lot to think through there, but let's go through the example. I think it'll become familiar. So here I have a very simple situation where I have a count of incidents on the instance. So I use the VividCount function, the incident table, and then active is true. Now, not practical for a real sheet, but I think it'll be helpful to explain this scenario. So I want to use this value and put it on a chart. So let's go ahead and save this just to make sure it's saved. Okay, and then let's go over to VividCharts. Let's create a new slide deck. I'm going to go ahead and select the score chart, and we'll select Vividsheets. That sheet was refresh demo data sheet, and what was the value? So B3. So let's go B3 and hit save. I would expect that 2491 to show up. Okay, so I got the 2491. Let's go ahead and just give it a title. So let's say active incidents. Okay, so now I got this. Now let's go ahead and save, and let's publish this so that we can go into the viewer and look at the report. Okay, so now I have, in this case, I have the refresh available to me because I have the refresher role, which is required in VividCharts to be able to refresh data. Let's say someone adds an incident. So let's just go back over to this instance. Let's go to the incident table. Go to all. And then we'll just add a new incident. And we'll just select Amy. Oops. Select Amy. There we go. And then I'll hit submit. Okay. So now we got 4973. Interesting, because so now let's go ahead and run the active is true here so we can get the same numbers. So yeah, we got 2492 here. Okay, so that's what I expect. So now I have active incidents here at 2491, and I have active incidents here at 2491. Let's go and hit the refresh button so we can see that it refreshes in progress, that I'm the one who kicked it off. Oop, it's done. So now we have 2492. Question is, what do we expect the sheet to demonstrate? Let's go over there, and actually it says 2491. Okay, let's refresh the browser. Still says 2491. That's because the sheet hasn't collected any data yet, so it's still acting on that same information and storing essentially that same information as before. In order to update this, I'm going to hit collect data, and you can see we get the 2492 here. So when you hit refresh here, think of the sheet as kind of a formula or algorithm to go collect this data. So it'll go understand where that value is coming from, and then saying what is the query that needs to be run in order for this value to update. The sheet itself isn't, the values in the sheet itself isn't updated at that time. It's only updated when we hit the collect data. So hopefully that helps you understand where and how refresh impacts both the scores or values coming in for the data in a chart, and how it impacts values on the sheet itself.